What's going on YouTube? So it's hard to have a combination that is quite as sexy and sounds as good as this LC500.
And today we're in the 2023 example, but we have a question for you. Should you buy this 2023 or wait for the upcoming refresh 2024 model?
With that being said, let's go ahead and find out. Now, what more fitting place to start off this review than under the hood, because this really is the star of the show. We have a naturally aspirated 5-liter V8 engine, 471 horsepower, 398 pound-feet of torque, and boy does it sound excellent, as you'll see later on in this review.
Yeah, as far as the transmission, it's a 10-speed automatic. As far as the fuel economy, 18 miles a gallon combined. Rear drive is your only drive option. And then as far as the 0 to 60, it's about 4.6 seconds.
Now, if there's any other potential star of the show besides the engine, it's going to be the exterior design. So let's go ahead and check that out before, of course, like I said, we'll go out on an extensive test drive later on. Now, like I was saying, this LC has always had just an absolutely stunning design. And I'm happy to report that with this 2023, as well as the upcoming updated 2024 model, they are not messing with success. This exterior design is a winner, and they are leaving it alone, thankfully. Now, what are you gonna get? You're of course gonna get a spindle grille. All Lexus models have this, but it's a very detailed spindle grille with a lot of different textures inside of it. This one is gonna be surrounded in a chrome and silver finish, as you can see. And then in other areas of the vehicle, including around the headlights, you're gonna have these gray accents, which add a very dynamic look. Now, speaking of the headlights, very unique look to these. We have a triple beam LED headlight, but a unique take on this because they're actually stacked and three-dimensional. And then water falling down, you have a separated turn signal indicator below. Now, of course, as we move towards the back, it's got a very wide rear end here, good haunches.
Yeah, that booty is fine on this LC500. There's no changes for the 2023 model year or for 2024, but we're just gonna go ahead and hop inside and we're gonna check out our taillights. These are very intricate 3D taillights. See if all the elements are LED. So we have an LED brake light, LED turn signal indicator, and a nice amber kind of going down the side in a slit. We also have our LED reverse lights integrated down here. So as you would expect out of a flagship luxury convertible, this is going to have all of your elements as LED, and these taillights are so intricate and beautifully designed. You can really see that here in person. Now, as we drop down, of course, this is going to be a pretty aggressive lower diffuser. We have quad exhaust outlets going through here. It looks absolutely phenomenal, but really more phenomenal than the look of it is the sound. So let's go ahead and hear it.
Now, of course, every sports car has to have big, beautiful wheels, and this is no exception. We have the 21-inch chrome and black contrast alloy wheels. Really like this look, but for 2024, you will be getting a new design that's probably a little bit more aggressive looking than these, so that's going to be a matter of what your personal preference is. Moving on up to the mirrors, fully loaded, of course. We do have your blind spot monitoring, auto dimming, as well as power folding.
Now, here at the side, it's very obvious that we have the convertible version of the LC. Of course, there is also a coupe if you don't need the top down. And speaking of the top, that's going to be an area that does actually change for 2024, so do keep that in mind if you're cross-shopping between the two model years. You're going to have a new option of a bespoke build. The bespoke build will give you 2 additional top colors, so a dark rose color as well as a blue option for your top. Now, additionally, you're also going to have new exterior colors for 2024, including that really cool copper crest color that we saw debut on the Lexus RX. Now, in terms of the overall look, though, it is absolutely gorgeous. And as far as your safety systems are concerned, as you would expect, you're going to have Lexus safety system, the entire suite as standard equipment. So all 4 of your active safety features are standard on the LC500. But guys, I won't delay any longer. Let's go ahead and check out that beautiful red interior. And if you're new here, we're brothers, and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We may be young, but we love cars.
And we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family. Let's learn a lot, have some fun with all the latest cars.
Now let's move on to the interior, which is almost as nice as the exterior. First, we'll take a look at the key fob. Typical Lexus affair here. Of course, you do have smart entry. And then getting inside, this has the flush mount door handles, but you just kind of press in on that little knob that will unlock the door, and then you can just grab behind there and open it up. Nice and easy, just like so. Now, looking inside the interior, of course, it is exquisitely detailed with a lot of leather. And you do have several different choices. This is probably my favorite choice. This is a red interior. As you can see, you have kind of two different types of red, and you also have the black accenting throughout. So it really makes for a very special look. And the new bespoke package is going to open you up to additional options such as a blue and white interior color scheme. Now, as far as the seats themselves, these are semi-aniline leather seats because we do have the touring package. That's also going to throw in this right here, a neck heater, so it's going to be blowing heat on your neck, so you can use this with the top down even in the winter time. Seats themselves are going to be 10-way power adjusting with 2-way lumbar support. But let's go ahead and climb inside. Now, you heard me talk about how nice the interior is, so let's take a look at the rest of the materials. Full leather everywhere that you might touch. Of course, through the armrest, we have this beautiful leather. It's got like a texture inside of it. Looks really cool. Leather along the entire upper dash, or upper door trim, and the upper dash as well. This section here actually does glow at night, makes a cool design. Of course, you have leather through the center, a full genuine aluminum running all through here. More leather. You've got the red and the black with the color contrast stitching details, leather through here. It's even leather trimmed around the seat control. So, like I said, just an absolutely beautiful interior. Let's go ahead and fire it up. Does not get old. We've enjoyed that every time for the full week. Now that we've fired up the vehicle, the first thing I want to go ahead and show you guys is how to put the top back up. It's a very simple process, which is good on a day like this where it is extremely hot and humid. You might want to just press that button right underneath there and watch this come into place in about 15 seconds with absolutely nothing really for you to do. Just watch it happen, and there you go. It's easy as that. And then you can just press the button right next to it. That will roll up all the windows all at once. Now, as far as the details of the cabin, let's take a little bit of a closer look. Of course, our gauge cluster, we have a very cool Lexus design. This is the design that actually slides back and forth mechanically, which is really cool. Up top, we do have the optional head-up display. And as far as the steering wheel, really nice design here, full leather wrap, thick bolstering, and then I cannot forget to talk about these paddle shifters. Absolutely heavenly. They're full metal, as you can see, very large, feels excellent in the hands. The wheel itself is going to be power tilt and telescoping, and you do have steering wheel heating as well. Now, returning back over here to the console area, as you kind of saw earlier, this slides back, and then once you get back to here, this is where you can open it to the side and check out your center console. Fully felt lined. It's not overly large, of course, but you do have a couple USB ports inside, and when you're ready to close it up, you just press that, and it will go ahead and slide forward. Now, as far as additional storage, not much more. You just have one cup holder right there. Now, as far as the shifter, this is the electronic style that we've since seen expand across the Lexus lineup. Just pull back for drive, like so. Go up the opposite way for reverse. When you go into reverse, you're not going to find a 360 camera, surprisingly. You're going to find just a traditional view. It does have parking sensors, and then, you know, a rather small active trajectory going through there. Of course, just press the P for park. You do have an electronic parking brake with brake hold. Now, off to the side, we have this pad and control area. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this remote touch pad a little later in the video, but first let's talk about the audio system. So as far as audio systems are concerned, you do have a 12-speaker sound system. We have the optional 915-watt 13-speaker Mark Levinson sound system. So let's go ahead and give it a sample. Yeah, so overall sound quality is excellent. Certainly fills up the cabin well, and you can hear the audio system plenty even when you have the top down and the open road. Also, I just want to say this real metal button here is absolutely wonderfully weighted, just feels so premium. And we even have a old-fashioned CD player if that's something that you want. All right, now rising above, let's take a look at the climate controls. We've got some physical climate controls here, nice and easy to adjust the temperature up and down to your liking. It's a dual zone automatic setup, but we do have a system that Lexus calls Climate Concierge. This is going to take into account not just your automatic climate control setup, but also your heated and ventilated seats, those neck warmers, all that stuff to make an all-encompassing temperature that automatically adjusts itself. That's a good thing because you don't have physical controls for your heated seats or your ventilated seats, so you're going to be happy that they turn on automatically. How you would turn them on manually involves messing around with this display, trying to find your climate controls here, swiping up, going to your seating controls right there. It's a multi-step process that's very tedious to do, so it's certainly a good thing they've included the Climate Concierge so you can avoid using this system as much as possible. And that's really the main thing I want to talk about with this interior, because of course this review we've been talking a lot about getting the 2023 or getting the 2024. Well, for 2024, Lexus actually bringing you a new display system. So instead of this 10-inch display that's recessed behind glass, you can't touch it, you have to use this old school and very finicky remote touch controller. The 2024 model is actually going to bring the display forward. It's going to bring it up as well, larger 12.3-inch display instead, and give you that latest Lexus infotainment system. So you're going to have, just a easier to use system. You're going to have wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay as well, which is something that this model does not offer, although it does have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay wired connection. If you're wondering what our opinion on it is, we would certainly think that if you're interested in technology at all, you will be wanting to get that 2024 model because this just has a lot of flaws in the operation of it. It's difficult to use, not high tech, of course. It's also kind of hard to see behind that glass and really recessed back there. So certainly something to keep in mind. Finally, wrapping up the front here, we do have an auto-dimming mirror with 3 home-link universal remotes.
Well guys, there actually are rear seats in this LC, so let's go ahead and hop back there and see how practical they are. So if you're trying to sell your wife on getting one of these and having a child seat installed, I think it might be a tough sell, but I might be able to convince you here. So with the top down, it's actually really easy to get inside because you don't have to worry about bumping your head. The seat, when you grab this little lever, it automatically slides forward, so that makes getting in and out pretty easy. Then if I slide it back, you do have to spread those legs quite a bit to get the seat to go back, and we have the seat adjusted to our own driving position. I'm 5'9". I'm 5'9" here in the back as well, and this is what it looks like. It's not comfortable, but it's worth it for the ride. I'm glad that Lexus included the rear seats because if you want to bring 4 people along, they're not going to be comfortable, but they're certainly going to enjoy the ride. And let's walk up to see how practical the cargo area is for the LC convertible. Now, in order to get back here, they have cleverly integrated a button right here that really blends in to pop open the cargo area. And once we do that, of course, you're not going to expect to find a lot of space. You won't find a lot of space in this LC convertible. Now, we actually intentionally left all of our camera gear back here to demonstrate that it actually is a pretty usable amount of space. We have our camera bag, our tripod, another bag, another tripod. So it's a decent amount. It's rated at 3.4 cubic feet, but I feel like it's feels a little bit more spacious than that. It's just going to be very, very shallow. So do keep that in mind. I think you'll be able to get the golf clubs in here, but not going to be stacking no Costco groceries or anything in this LC's trunk. But guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and get out on that drive. Well, it is indeed a good day here in the office because we are about to go out on the drive for this LC 500 convertible. Tops off, the engine's ready to roll, and in this test drive we're going to be talking about a lot of different things, not just the engine sound and performance, but we will be definitely hitting that along this drive. But we will be also getting our sound level reading for those of you curious about how good of a grand tour this vehicle is. But first, let's go ahead and start out with a hard acceleration, this LC 500 convertible.
about 65 miles per hour.
Yes.
Well, obviously it sounds great. We may have touched on that earlier. I can't remember. But that really is the first thing you're going to notice, is just how amazing it sounds. Top up, or especially if you have the top down, where you just get the raw sound right into the cabin.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is one of the best sounding vehicles that I've ever been in. And you know, we do a lot of cars on this channel, but this takes the cake as probably, at least in the top 5, maybe the top 3 best sounding vehicles we've ever done on the channel. It is absolutely sonorous. Now, of course, what's under the hood, we talked about that at the spec dump. It's a 5-liter naturally aspirated V8. That's what provides you that amazing engine noise. 471 horsepower. It's not like incredibly powerful. It's certainly fast enough to satisfy all your power needs, but this thing goes 0 to 60 in 4.6 seconds, which is not like incredibly fast for something that's classified as a supercar, but
by modern standards, that's pretty slow. The thing is, though, when you're behind the wheel of it, you really find yourself not caring. Yeah. Which is the interesting thing, because this 5-liter V8 just has so much character. You know, this is the type of engine, you're not going to be able to get this soon, you know. Yeah. A naturally aspirated V8 engine is just a dying breed, and you can just tell that you're behind the wheel of something truly special. Let me mention the transmission as well. We do have a 10-speed automatic transmission. It's really nice and responsive. When you put your foot down, you get pretty quick response. I actually went into the sport mode. That's gonna, you know, dial things up to be a little bit more aggressive as well.
Oh, it has the verbals, Drew. Oh my goodness.
Lovely. The paddles are very responsive as well, and I mentioned it on the interior, but just absolutely just wonderful feel to these. Real aluminum, nice clicky feel. I have to say, even with the top down, because we have the wind buffer in the back, we have the windows rolled up on the side, it's surprisingly quiet and serene inside the cabin. It's very easy for me and Mason to conversate. Yeah, you can tell Lexus has spent a lot of time making this convertible actually very usable on the daily, and it's a Grand Tourer after all. Like we said, this is not like the fastest to 60 car by any stretch of the imagination. It sounds phenomenal, and it's also very comfortable when you just are driving around. Right, the Grand Tourer is really the primary focus of this convertible. And, you know, going over things like that ridge there, the ride quality is fantastic. It really is just exceptional for a vehicle like this. We have 21-inch alloy wheels as well, yet it really absorbs all the bumps in the road. I mean, yeah, going over the bridge, it feels like it's just a cloud. It's one of the best ride qualities that you can get in any Lexus vehicle. Yeah, it's definitely the power of the adaptive dampers on board. Really are helpful. Now we're going to go ahead and put the top up. It takes about 15 seconds according to Lexus, and you can operate it at speeds up to 31 miles an hour. We're just going to park and do it because I don't want to rip the top off of this LC, that's for sure. But as you can see, really quick, and then you just roll the windows up, and then it's just like being in the Coupe LC. Yeah, exactly. And now we'll be able to do things like get our sound level reading. Even with the top up, it still sounds absolutely insane. It's better with the top down, I will say, but let's go ahead and get our sound level reading going 55 in this LC 500 convertible.
Wow. Incredible reading. 54.6 decibels is what we're getting. That is really, really good for any luxury vehicle, much less a convertible. That really goes to show you that even though this is a convertible, they've pretty much made it like as quiet as the coupe. Now, we haven't tested out the coupe to exactly compare the sound sample or sound level, but I will say, like, this convertible seems as quiet as a coupe when you're just kind of cruising along here.
Yeah, they did a lot of insulation in the top, is what they said. It's got a lot of layers.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly how many layers, but goodness, you can certainly tell. This would be a vehicle you can go on the interstate 75, 80 miles an hour, and you're not going to hear any types of crazy wind noise or anything like that. Now, you might be wondering, how sporty is the LC500? And like we said earlier, I just want to emphasize, this is a grand touring product. So this is not a hard-edged sports car. There are certainly other options that you can get that are going to fulfill that need if you want something that's really hard-edged tool. This is walking that line between giving you sporty ability, but also giving you that everyday comfort.
Yeah.
So even though it's a two-door, you know, it's beautiful looking, you can get in this, you can drive this to Kroger or whatever, your daily errands, you go to work. It's something you can use every single day and still be in comfort, but you can get on a back road like this, and don't get me wrong, you can enjoy the process for sure. It's reasonably sporty, it just feels very heavy, and it is very heavy.
4,540 pounds is how heavy this coupe is, which is very, very heavy. They've put a lot of emphasis on the luxury. All the materials in here are leather and metal. Those things are heavy. So that's just something to consider. This is not going to be a Porsche 911 on a back road, that's for sure. Now, I do also want to get into one of our other Car Confections signature elements, which would be our airball and slam dunk. Drew, do you want to kick us off with the slam dunk today?
Yeah, slam dunk, easily 5-liter V8.
Yeah.
The end. Do I need to say any more? You've already heard everything about it.
Yeah. The airball for this 2023 model is going to be the technology. This Inform trackpad, we've never been a fan of that. It's still rocking that for 2023. The technology is just really not that good for especially a 6-figure price tag vehicle. That being said, the 2024 model, which Drew mentioned on the inside, is getting updated technology and all that. So you might want to wait for that if you care a lot about the technology, because you're getting a big upgrade next year. So that's something worth noting. Now, as far as the fuel economy is concerned, we're sitting at 15, 25, 18 combined. So not fantastic fuel economy for a two-door coupe, but on the highway, 25 is not too bad, especially for a naturally aspirated V8. I do want to mention your pricing as well. So we're starting at $101,500 for 2023. When you add all the options, kind of like what we've done on this tester, plus the $1,150 destination, we're looking at $113,050. And lastly, here for the warranty, you get 4-year 50,000 mile basic, 6-year 70,000 mile powertrain. Additionally, you do get some complimentary maintenance because it's Lexus. And guys, that's where we're going to leave off on this in-depth review of the 2023 Lexus LC500 convertible. This, of course, is a beautiful vehicle, and we're so glad that we're able to show you this on the channel. And we're able to do that because of you subscribers. Thank you so much for being subscribed to the channel. You helped us get this LC down here for an entire week for us to extensively test out and enjoy for the week. So thank you so much, and we hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did enjoy watching this video and you're not subscribed, we invite you to join our Car Confections family, because by doing so, you're going to see a lot of automotive content I promise you won't want to miss out on. And if you haven't taken the second to follow our TikTok and Instagram pages, please do that as well as check out our all-new website. We'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.